Now I'd like to tell you about the 5 big ideas of special education. And maybe first a brief introduction about big ideas. Big ideas are one of the effective instructional practices to use with individuals with disabilities. And by the way, it's just an effective practice for any group of students. But they are the most important concepts that you can pick out about a topic. So when you're teaching a lesson or a unit, be sure you isolate those critical components of the topic. Make sure all of your students, including your students with disabilities, get that information. So as an example, I want to make sure that everybody understands the 5 big ideas of special education. So I will highlight those up front now. And credit to my colleague, Dr. Moira Conrad, who came up with these 5 big ideas and conveniently made sure that there were keywords for each of them and that the beginning letter of each keyword spelled out the word teach. The first keyword is teamwork. The next keyword or phrase, effective practices. The next key phrase, adult success. Next is characteristics. And finally, historical context. Again, these are the keywords, not the big ideas themselves. Here are the big ideas. The big idea of teamwork is that to achieve the most desirable outcomes, special education requires teamwork, which is a collaborative approach. We know what works in special ed. Effective practices exist, but unfortunately, they are underused, and we're going to learn all about them this year. I'm going to try to model them in as much as possible. So this fact that that effective practices exist but underused, this concept is called the research to practice gap. Adult success is, this big idea is that helping individuals with exceptionalities achieve success in their adult roles is the ultimate goal of special education. And by the way, it's also the ultimate goal of general education. Characteristics. So there are common characteristics of individuals within exceptionality groups, but we have to be careful not to let those characteristics define those individuals. Individuals are individuals first. So we're going to learn a lot about how we use those characteristics to help us understand and serve those groups, but not define those groups. And finally, but interestingly, we're going to probably look at historical context first in our study of the 5 big ideas. But it's last in our list of keywords, key phrases. Understanding the history of special ed helps us appreciate how the field has evolved, especially how important parents and families were in the genesis of special ed. So these are the 5 big ideas of special ed, and we will continue to study them in the next few weeks.